Euphoria and Hunger Games actor had a meltdown after the United States government issued him a new passport that correctly identified him as a male instead of the woman he is trying to pretend to be. The actor in question is an individual that goes by the name Hunter Schafer. He posted this meltdown on TikTok, and it comes in the wake of President Donald Trump's executive order that declares that it is the policy of the United States to recognize two sexes, male and female. These sexes are not changeable and are grounded in fundamental and incontrovertible reality. Under my direction, the executive branch will enforce all sex protective laws to promote this reality, and the following definitions shall govern all executive interpretation of and application of federal law and administration policy. Goes on and provides those definitions. You can click the link here over at phantompulse.com. So, as Schafer explained, he received a new passport after his previous one was stolen in Spain, and he needed to get a replacement. The new passport was issued and properly documents him as a male, despite him claiming he filled out the paperwork and falsely claimed he was a female. So he was falsifying his passport documentation, claiming that he was a woman when he is not. He is a man. So he was lying to federal authorities about what sex he is. Maybe that isn't something he should have said. I don't know if that's a crime or not, but it's clearly lying, and it is wrong. Nevertheless, after discussing all this, Schafer said, I guess I'm sort of scared of the way that this stuff slowly gets implemented because things just sort of start happening, as we've seen in historical rises of fascism and everything this new administration kind of represents. No, absolutely not. You are lying. You are living a lie, and the United States government is not going to participate in your lies. They should not. We should not be participating in other people's delusions and their lies. The time of lies is over. The era of lies is over. We are embracing the truth now. We are embracing the truth. Nevertheless, he goes on and says there's a lot of talk, and then things start happening, and we start to normalize the circumstances we're under. And I just feel like it's important to share that it's not just talk. This is real, and it's happening. This all sounds like projection because this is exactly what transgender ideology has been doing. It's been a slow creep. President Trump had zero slow creep, and it's like, this is done with. We are ending this now, today, day one, executive order, enough. It wasn't like, oh, it was slowly happening. No, this is it. We're ending it, done. But what we've been seeing with transgender ideology is has been a slow creep. It is part of the slippery slope. It is part of the LGBTQ plus agenda. It is part of the degeneration of our society. It all stems from that sin of lust, primarily. After claiming how scared he was, Schafer then said, I don't give a F that they put an M on my passport. It doesn't change really anything about me or my transness. However, it does make life a little harder. So he just talked about how scared he was and said I guess I'm sort of scared. And then he's like, I don't give a F. Well, which is it? Which is it? Because you're clearly lying. And this is the problem. These people live a lie. And so they like everything else they're doing it's so much easier to lie because they are living a lie and they're trying to get you to buy into the lie. And that's why this has to be opposed in every single level, because it is normalizing lying, which is wrong. It is morally wrong on every single level. There is no justification for lying. From there, Schafer declared, this is getting very long, but I just want to say trans people are beautiful. We are never going to stop existing. I'm never going to stop being trans. A letter and a passport can't change that, and F this administration. Well, there's no such thing as transgenderism. You can't be. Males cannot become females. Females cannot become males. It is an absolute impossibility. It is physically impossible to do that. Now, is it an ideology? Yes. People are trying to fake that they can do this, but they can't. They're warring with reality. They've created delusions in their mind, and they're trying to bring those delusions to real life. Unfortunately, it's impossible to do that for them. And it's sad. It's sad that they're trying to do this because they clearly have some kind of trauma or damage that is causing them to act this way. And we want to help these people. But at the same time, we have to say this is wrong. Next, Schafer acknowledged, I don't really have an answer about what to do about this, but I feel it was important to share. This is real. So I've cited this a bunch of times in previous videos. If you've watched my videos at all before, you know I like to cite Bishop Michael Burbidge of the of the Diocese of Arlington. He has an excellent letter that he wrote called A Catechesis on the Human Person and Gender Ideology, and he very clearly notes that transgender ideology is built on a lie. He says this, we know from biology that a person's sex is genetically determined at conception and present in every cell of the body. Because the body tells us about ourselves, our biological sex does in fact indicate our inalienable identity as male or female. Thus, so-called transitioning might change a person's appearance and physical traits, hormones, breast, genitalia, etc., but does not in fact change the truth of the person's identity as male or female, a truth reflected in every cell of the body. He adds, indeed, no amount of masculinizing or feminizing hormones or surgery can make a man into a woman or a woman into a man. It's just impossible. It's impossible to do. Furthermore, he instructs the faithful should avoid using gender-affirming terms or pronouns that convey approval of or reinforce the person's rejection of the truth. It is not harsh or judgmental to decline to use such language. So it is to be applauded, that the federal government is no longer affirming these people's delusions, affirming their rejection of the truth. This is a good thing. This is an absolute 100% good thing. In no circumstances should anyone be compelled to use language contrary to the truth. The right to speak the truth inheres in the human person and cannot be taken away by any human institution. Attempts by the state, corporations, or employers to compel such language, particularly by threats of legal action or job loss, are unjust. We must love in the truth, and truth must be accurately conveyed by our words. So this is why we oppose this stuff. It is opposed to the truth. And once you start allowing things that are opposed to the truth to become normalized, your society starts to crumble. You've clearly been seeing this. If you've been around, you've been paying attention for the last, 5 years at least, you see what happens when you allow people to constantly lie. We get things like COVID and all of the absolute disgusting things that happened during that time frame. So we have to embrace the truth. We cannot allow people like this actor here to try to shame us, to try to guilt us into buying into his own delusions, his own lies. We have to say, no, that is wrong. You are doing harm to yourself. You're doing harm to your friends. You're doing harm to others. You're doing harm to all the other people that are following you. And you are doing harm to society. And that is why we must oppose this. This is why this stuff must be gotten rid of. It should be banned. You should not be allowed to push this kind of ideology whatsoever. It is absolutely heinous. There is nothing good that comes from it. And while we advocate for that being banned, we also want to help these people at the same time find the help that they need so they can overcome these delusions, these lies that they are living in. But let me know what you guys make of what this actor had to say here, this total meltdown that he had over the truth being documented on his passport. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.